Hi all, this is Team Data Warriors and we are here to do a case study video presentation on logistic regression for the Titanic model. So this is Titanic survivor prediction. We just focus on the logistic regression part.
So in this case study, the objective is to analyze of what sorts of people were likely to survive. In particular, our objective is to focus on implementation of machine learning algorithms like logistic regression and how it can be useful for predicting survival. The
Yeah,
main goal and objective of this project is to
coming to the goals and objectives.
process to document the process we went through to create my predictions for Titanic survivor prediction. And the objective of the project was to build a classification model that could successfully determine whether a Titanic passenger lived or dead.
Coming to the logistic regression is basically a supervised classification algorithm. In a classification problem, the target variable uh, can take only discrete values for a given set of features, like X. And logistic regression is a useful model to run early in the workflow. Logistic regression measures the relationship between the categorical dependent variable and one or more independent variables by estimating the probabilities using logistic function, which is a cumulative logistic distribution. And coming to the some of the examples of classification problems are emails, spam, not spam prediction, online transaction fraud, or not fraud detection. And coming to the next slide, my friend will continue. Ayappa.
Coming to the implementation part, first we're gonna import all the necessary libraries. After that, importing the data set or reading the CSV file using pandas, and after that, cleaning and analyzing the data set, and building the model, and also using logistic regression for making predictions. Coming to the next slide. Yeah, these are the libraries that we imported in this project. Like we imported a logistic regression library from the linear model, and linear SVC from SVM, and a random forest classifier from ESML, and K neighbors classifier from neighbors, and a Gaussian NB from native Bayes, and Perceptron from linear model, as well as SVG classifier from linear model, and also decision tree classifier from tree model. These are the libraries we imported. From here, my friend will gonna continue.
So coming to the model building, what the steps involved in the model building is, we'll be the splitting the whole data into the two. One of them is 70%, and the test will be split into the 30%. On trained data, we will be train the model. The same trained data use it to adjust the model by turning the parameters, such as applying the grid search and the random search techniques. We can use k-fold cross validation also to get the better accuracy. And coming to the next slide, here we have there is some data for the creations of the train and test data creations. Globally, each year organizations lose tens of millions of dollars to online fraud. And this fraud detector is a fully managed service that uses a machine learning and the more than the 20 years of a fraud detectors express, and to identify the potentially the activity so customers can catch more online and fraud faster. And Amazon, like some of the fraud detectors automatically the time consuming and expensive steps to build the train and deploy, and the fraud detectors making it easy for the customers to leverage the technology. And the detectors customize each model. It creates a customer's own data sets and making the accuracy of a model higher than the current one size fits all the solutions. And because you pay only for that what you see, what you use, to avoid the large upfront expenses. And these data creations, like the DF test and the train DF and test DF was prepared by using train test split from the skeleton module. Next slide, my friend is going to continue.
Hi.
fitting
So, my model building. Yes, fitting the model. So, as shown in the below, we would like to be using the logistic regressions method like logical regression fit, and we will be using fit mod method to fit the all model by using supplying both the DV and IDV columns. And here the train DF and test DF was prepared by using train test split from, and we will be initializing the project with the default parameters. Next, please. So model building default parameters of the model is as shown in the below link. Some parameters are the predefined. So we use in the below the source for detailed explanation for each parameter. Next steps, my friend will continue.
model building. In model building, we predicting the scores. We will be predicting the scores using the predicting method of the model instance. For example, if model is the model instance, then below is the syntax. The below here is the syntax model dot predict test. We can save this model in the form of a .pki format for the further use using the library. Next, and computing the accuracy. The model object can be used to compute the accuracy score, and to calculate the accuracy must be the pass the data, the predictors, and the targets as arguments. Here below here is the syntax. We can get the train accuracy. The round log reg dot score x train into 100. This is the syntax. Next.
So coming to the prediction part, as we can see here, as we just focus on the logistic regression part, and with our available data sets, we get a score of 80.36% of accuracy for 100. And so we can use this logistic regression to validate our assumptions and the decisions for the future, creating and completing goals. So this can be done by calculating the coefficients of the features using the decision function from given data sets of 70% of training data and 30% of testing data. So this is all about the logistic regression part, and thank you all.
Thank you, Professor.